Theodore quickly changes to caramel dancing, and then while the rest of the session goes on, it's just the rainbow lights coming out of José's office.
Yes. I will
Honestly,
edit
now
that.
that's
Don't
real
test me.
fucking psychological torture.
It's a Mr. Rogers playlist, but every fourth video is caramel dancing.
Yes.
Caramel Rogers.
Welcome to this week's Show Some Initiative. I am your DM, Julian. My pronouns are he, him, or they, them, and I play anyone who is not one of the following characters.
Hi, I'm James, and I'll be playing Jose Almanza.
Hi, I'm Cookie. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Patrick.
I'm Nick, he, him, and I play Danny Rose.
I'm Phil, he, him. I play Gabe Prosen.
Hi, my name is Sean. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Theodore Collins.
Hello, I am Tori. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I play Erica.
Alright, so last week, you all left the circus, and in doing so have seemed to have attracted the attention of some vampire hunters. You dealt with them pretty easily, and are now relaxing in your homes the next evening. What would you like to do? Is there anything anyone wants to do before you go report into Prince Tabitha?
Jose's gonna meet with his herd and get some blood in him.
Alright.
Yeah. I think... Because blood, as an aside for this system, blood doesn't restore between scenes or between, like, nights, does it? Automatically you have to...
No, you have to feed to get
You
blood.
either use your herd
Okay.
or you hunt.
Yeah, so Gabe is going to go to his herd as well to feed.
One thing I am curious about Jose and Gabe. What is your cover for your herd? Do they know about your condition, or what exactly is the situation there?
Would you like to go first, Phil, or should I?
I can go first if you'd like. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested in Gabe being a pastor and all who only feeds off of Christians, because that's
Yeah,
a little interesting.
Yes, so Gabe, as we all know, is a pastor. And he has a few members of his congregation who are particularly devout. And he has invited them to be part of a special ceremony for which he found some evidence in, ancient Christian texts, which were probably declared, or almost certainly declared, heretical by some early church council. But he's managed to revive them and claim that that's legitimate. Anyway, it's essentially text that refers to the act of communion, of the Eucharist, of the blood and the wine, using, rather than wine, to use literal blood of parishioners, of Christians, of believers, to be spilled and consumed, essentially.
Okay, now consider this. You are lying to your herd. You have a humanity of 10.
He sincerely believes that this is look, just because it is his sincere belief that this is a legitimate way of worshiping God and practicing communion. It's just very heretical by many other Christians in the entire world. Yeah.
Listen,
I really wish you could see the face that I'm making right now.
I think it kind of works in the way that this is how Gabe is kind of justifying to himself being a kindred.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes,
so it sounds
exactly.
so your pitch is that Gabe isn't lying; he's just hard rationalizing.
Yeah,
essentially, yeah.
Well, no, he's
Basically,
lying to himself, essentially.
Well, no,
That's what rationalizing is.
So when he was embraced and learned about all this stuff and how feeding is necessary, he interpreted it through the lens of Christianity, and he looked into like practices from like the ancient Near East and things like that, where there were a lot of, in the early church before, in the first few centuries of Christianity, basically, there were a lot of things that are nowadays considered by almost everyone to be extremely heretical. And this is one of them. There's also stuff like, sex priestesses and things like that, and various other things. But this is in particular, I think Gabe embraced because his newfound understanding of his need for blood. And he understands that as his need to be closer to Jesus, essentially. And he does that through partaking in the blood of other Christians.
So you occasionally just hit these people up and go, hey, it's time for that special ceremony again.
He does it about once a week. He does it once a week. Sometimes he saves the blood, I think. Sometimes he consumes it then and there.
Just the annual Thursday potluck.
Now, how do you give back to them? Because in some instances, in a herd, at least for certain clans, i.e. Toreador, it would be like, oh, hey, yeah, let's make out, and then I'll bite your neck, but you won't even notice.
What do you mean, how do you give back?
Yeah, are you saying, like, here, this is for your trouble, like you offer them a meal in payment, or is this strictly like, hey, I'm a pastor, give me your blood?
Cookies and orange juice. That's the thing.
I mean, it is...
Depending on how much he's taken, yeah.
That thing, your blood, handed over.
Oh, God. No, it's not, like, directly transactional. I mean, it is kind of transactional in that, like, oh, if you give blood, it brings you closer to God because Jesus gave his blood, and now you're giving your own blood and being Christ-like. Things like that. So in theory, it's essentially blood for absolution, I guess. It's not like he's giving them $50 to do this.
I like how Gabe is supposed to be like the nicest one of us, and yet he's literally running a fucking cult. He's running a fucking cult. Yeah. He's dragging up ancient fucking. He's an undead creature dragging up ancient fucking scriptures to justify taking people's blood.
Listen, this is an exploration of what true monsters look like. We're just getting all of our bases covered.
His herd, basically back in World War II, he saved like one of his squad mates from like near certain death right before he got turned. And that person like promised him, hey, if you ever need anything, hit me up. And then Jose went, quote unquote, missing in action. Mm-hmm. But years later, like the 30 years ago that he moved back to, he moved to Houston, he like just happenstance ran into him one night at like a punk bar. And long story short, Jose's herd is that man's grandchildren, who like kind of understand that they wouldn't be here without what he did for their family. And moreover, Jose pays him back by like employing him at his bar and also like helping out with like their like college fees and anything else they may need, just kind of as a, hey, if you're gonna, help me keep staying alive, I can help you get through some time.
So he's Grunkle Jose.
He is great Uncle Jose.
Okay. Does anyone else need to do any hunting or access their herd if they have it?
Hey, I took up the refreshments when I had the chance, all right? So I'm just fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to do a herd, but I would like to do something before going to meet the prince.
Yeah, what's up?
I want to go meet up with Jose.
Okay. I imagine that you text each other.
I text Jose like, hey, I need to talk. Can we meet? Can we meet a bit earlier? Where would it work for you?
Jose thinks for a moment and then texts back, meet me at the bar. Bouncer should know where you are. Just head straight up to the VIP lounge.
Right. then yeah, I assume like 10 minutes later, I know how close it is by car. Patrick follows directions and goes there.
Mm-hmm.
Waves at the bartender and heads for the VIP section.
I would like to say the VIP section is just basically a upper balcony above the stage that also just has like 2 pool tables and like an extra bar.
Nice.
Oh fuck yeah!
So I think Jose is like is making sure like pool's ready for the evening.
Are there people around? That's a important question.
No, I think it's just Jose right now because this is like pre-open for at least the upper area.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, Almanza.
Jose, please.
Yeah. I. Listen, it's not easy to admit when you're wrong. I wanted to apologize for breaching the etiquette in your domain. I don't plan on making excuses, but I do want you to. I do think if we're gonna work together, it'd be important that you understand. I'm kind of new to the whole Camarilla society, and you seem to have done your couple of rounds around the blocks. I'd appreciate if. I know this is coming after a violation of etiquette, but I'd appreciate some help in that regard.
Jose will just kind of look shocked that that's what this is about, and Jose will just do a quick nod and say, Patrick, if I'm being honest, that little bit was directed more towards our good friend Mr. Rose, who during our time realized he has had his fair share of time working with the Camarilla, and he should have definitely known those rules. I'm not gonna hold your freshness against you, and I'd be more than happy to give you a breakdown on anything you need information on. It's truly the least I could do.
Thank you, but I'd still like to say I owe you one, so if you need something, don't be afraid to ask.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what clan do you run with?
Oh, the gangrel. I've been pretty much. The prince mentioned that there's a bit of a small presence here in the city. I haven't had time to meet with any of them yet, but I mainly run with the country folk out in Oregon.
What would Jose know about the gangrels?
Off the top of your head, you know that they're kind of the animal hippy-dippy nature clan who's pretty solitary. If you want to know anything more specific, that would probably be intelligence plus occult.
I'll give that a shot. 2 successes.
I imagine you also know that they're kind of shape-shifting clans, the whole animal thing. That's how they're... That's kind of like their calling card, I guess. Followed up by, you also know that their sires tend to just leave them in the dust, like, survival of the fittest.
Jose will just go, yeah, that kind of checks out on your lack of knowledge. I'm sure I'd be happy to supplement your knowledge. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Oh, it's definitely good to know that. And Patrick goes for a handshake, and yeah.
Jose will kind of pull it into like a hug, like handshake into like that hug where the arms are in between you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. It starts with a predator handshake and then it goes into a half hug.
Absolutely.
Good shit.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about.
Delightful.
Anyway, we have some time before we get going. Do you want to play a game of pool real quick?
Oh, yes, of course. I haven't played pool in years, actually.
I'll take it easy on you.
No. I want to see what a master plays like. Let's go.
If you insist.
How do we roll for pool, Julian?
Oh, if you really want to roll for pool, golly gee.
I am a bit invested in this.
Oh no, we have to then.
It's for Sean, Julian.
I don't.
Do it for Sean.
Oh, if it's for Sean.
Do it for me. We don't have to.
No, we have to. We have to. I don't even.
If I
there's
may
no
suggest,
sports.
I'd say
Yes, please.
either, like, the base stat would be either Dex or Intelligence. Then, who?
Yeah, I'm stuck on the ability.
It is technically a sport.
So athletics.
That is truly the only thing I can think of.
Let's go with intelligence plus athletics then. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
If you succeed too much, you break the table.
How does that work?
Don't worry about it.
It's a vampire table. They're reinforced.
Oh. So, looking through Jose, what did you get, please?
2 successes.
And now, Patrick, what did you get?
Oh, just a nice round -2.
Delightful. And I'm assuming you don't want to spend willpower on that?
No.
Understandable. Patrick, you go in there. Oh, Eric, actually, Jose goes in there. Oh, Patrick, you aren't going to be that bad. It's fine. No, you somehow managed to get half of the cue balls off of the fucking table. You hit it, like, way too hard, and then the other times you hit it way too soft, so it, like, barely moves. There's no in-between.
So, I think it's safe to say pool is a dumb game that shouldn't be played. I'm calling it. Next time we play darts.
Jose kind of laughs and sinks the 8-ball. Well, I'll tell you this. Pool and vampirism, it's all about control, and I imagine with the correct teacher, you could get really good at both.
I didn't expect full mentor metaphor style of teaching, but you know what? I mean, if it works, it works.
Well, honestly, I was expecting you to get at least 1 ball in a pocket, so
Listen,
we're both kind of...
dumb game. It's a dumb game.
Oh, okay, final call, anything else?
What time are we meeting Prince Tabitha?
10 p.m. You guys wake up probably around 8-ish.
Okay. Would Erica have enough time to swing by Jose's bar as well and check in on their office-bound prisoner?
Aww. Yes, definitely. How did you guys tie them up or keep them contained, by the way?
I imagine he has, like... Well, the thing was, he was only...
Jose just has a little sign in the door that says, "Please don't go out, you're a captive." Also, don't scream. There are patrons outside.
The office door can be locked from the outside. And secondly, I imagine Jose has, like, some rope somewhere in his bar that he could use to, like, tie up someone.
Oh, did you get to check the security footage, Jose?
I think Jose wouldn't have time last night, and he's going to do it, like, after everything that happens tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Just with having to deal with all the captive nonsense at his bar last night, he probably didn't have time to double check that.
Okay, so Erica, when you go over to Jose's bar, are you going to give him a heads up?
Yes, I'll probably stop by and see him before I go visiting our little friend there. Is Jose would be at the bar before the meeting?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Evening, Mr. Almonza. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
I imagine... Would Patrick still be here at this point?
Yeah. Patrick is just sitting, like, he's bought a beer and he's just grumbling in a corner about pool.
You can't even drink it.
He's just holding it for the effect.
You bought a beer that you
Julian,
can't even
for the
drink.
aesthetic.
Okay,
Also, it's
okay.
polite.
It's about the
I'm not gonna
principle
bum
of it.
out at Jose's bar without buying anything.
At least gonna give him patronage.
Aw.
Sorry there, Mr. Patrick. Didn't even see you there.
There's a fucking bull and stupid cues.
Oh.
Stupid ass.
Is he doing all right?
Yeah, we had a rather intense game of pool not too long ago, and he's in doesn't seem to be taking his loss in too much of a stride at the moment.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I hope you don't mind me popping by unexpected like this. I just thought I'd bring a little something to eat for our little friend in the back.
Of course. Why don't we go check on him?
I'd appreciate that, thank you.
Oh, if you don't,
So Jose will...
if you don't mind, I'd love to tag along.
Jose will just unlock the door, gave a nod to the bartender and the bouncer to not let anyone in just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then lead everyone in.
Patrick drinks his beer.
Okay.
Not because he's not drink it, he's just used to carrying around his drink. Listen, it's unsafe to leave your drink at the bar.
True.
That's our He-Man PSA at the end.
Yeah, you definitely need to be careful about that drink, because you're definitely gonna drink it later.
I imagine this man is, tied up, bound, gagged, doesn't really have anything to do. Did you blindfold him as well, or not really?
Not blindfolded, because once again, so his like bar is like a black box, so there aren't really windows except like the front-facing ones by the door. So it's just kind of a room with like some filing cabinets and like a computer maybe. So there's no real reason to like blindfold him. There's not really any identifying details.
Okay.
And so he can see the hang in there poster.
It's the only thing that's keeping him sane.
Oh no. Would anyone else care to be here for this scene? I believe Theodora has something that he wanted to do.
You're talking about the thing we did at the end, right?
Yeah.
The thing we did, the thing with Theo, the thing we did at the end, the thing.
Theodore's
The
thing.
Theo thing.
I was about to say Cusco's poison. Just gonna hit the nail on the head. Just in case no one got the reference.
Thank you, Tori.
I'm trying my best.
So Jose is gonna walk up. Is he conscious?
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Should I be there for the... Or should I
Does
just
anyone...
do
I should say, does anyone else want to be here? Because if not, this will be the last thing we do before you meet up with Tabitha.
For the interrogation?
Yes.
Do you want me to send a little text blast to
Group chat?
everyone?
Oh.
Yeah. With the emojis, but like...
I guess
badly misused.
I think he will be there.
I guess it sounds like we're meeting at Jose's bar then before we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Danny will show up.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll be there then.
Oh god, we're doing the interrogation thing now? I just wanted to bring him some lunch.
Well, I'm not going to interrogate him. I just wanted to make sure he was doing all right.
Right. Right.
Patrick,
Yeah,
Well, I was going to chop off his left arm so he'd be all right. That he does not say that. He does not say that.
I was gonna say, like, I think Danny raises an eyebrow when you say that, right? And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna you're gonna check in to make sure your hostage is just all right."
Cool. I will check out the security thing. I don't know if you've done that last night, but...
Didn't have time, but
I think my
computer's
skills
right
would
there.
be better over there. Alright, cool. Could you log into this for me? I'm
Like
sure
Theodore
this is a
couldn't
great
press a
test.
button and hack it.
Listen, it's only polite.
Jose's like,
I
I
could
unlocked
definitely
it
do
before
it,
he
but
came in. I figured
He's
you'd want
right
to take a
there.
look.
Theodore's a gentleman's hacker.
Jose unlocks it for Theo. Should
What's
be good
the
to go.
password?
tell
I
us your
heart
password,
blood.
Jose.
It is Leet speak for butchers and bakers. And that is a thing that will be explained later, audience.
Okay.
Delightful. Not just audience, apparently everyone in this group.
Yeah.
So also, I'd like to point out, Danny, you know that there's evidence of you throwing the guy into the dumpster instead of him running away. So is there anything
I was about to get to that, yeah.
delightful?
Straight up, Danny's gonna try to perform a magic trick and make that tape disappear.
It's on the computer server. How are you gonna do that?
The way we tried before, I thought it was like a physical tape.
Oh.
No, it's when I said Jose obtains an extra copy, I meant he like gets a USB drive and copies the footage onto it. It's like he's all digital.
Okay, yeah, because the way you said it before made it sound like it was a physical tape he was taking out of the camera.
Well, if I may, I don't know that much about bar security, so I just kind of said some things and hope that it would make sense.
No, I mean, yeah, if it's a digital camera, it's like, that makes sense. I'm explaining why I thought it was.
Oh, no, understandably, this is totally on me, but...
I mean, yeah, in that case, like...
Hey, Theodore, behind you! Smashes the computer.
I mean, fucking, it might get to that point. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
Nick, what's with your characters and property damage?
Listen, Nick
Property
can
and
have a
moose
little
damage.
vandalism as a treat.
I lied.
Delightful.
There's one identifying detail. It's a "you break it, you buy it" sign on the back wall.
All right, then, yeah, Danny, I just fucking punches through the computer and then leaves $500 on the table. It's secret.
Cute that you think it'd be only $500.
I imagine this is not a very good computer. I don't think bar security
What do you
needs
mean?
a
Jose
fucking,
has
like...
a full-on gaming rig back there.
I was about to say, I'm not sure Jose, I'm not sure Jose has a
This
game.
is my
Water-cooled.
VR rig. What are you doing? It's water cooled.
GTX
Water-cooled
2070
VR rig.
Ti.
No, but, God. So I know you, like, what? You just has it on the computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the unfortunate part, Nick, is that if you want anyone to get rid of the evidence for you, it is me.
No, I know. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm saying, how do I get Theodore to do that?
In the same room as everyone else.
You bat your eyes pretty, please. Theodore.
Just trip him, he's a
That typically
nerd.
works for me.
Stuff that nerd in a locker.
Do this for me or I'll throw you into a locker.
Question. Did Jose say he was gonna look at it, like, that night? Or I guess, yeah.
I think he intended to, but just didn't get the chance to.
Like, I guess, like, yeah, like, would Danny assume that Jose is, like, has already seen it? Because that makes a huge difference.
I think by what Jose said, that makes sense.
Why don't we do the prisoner stuff first before we do
do the prisoner stuff while I think about it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're captive. Just to describe him, man, mid to early 20s, shaggy brown hair, big, like, dough brown eyes, like, very sweet. He has some freckles and he has pretty tan skin. He's wearing what looks to be a pretty sturdy leather jacket and black or dark red clothing. He's currently tied up and gagged and is just kind of like
Kinky.
looking at you guys in a mixture of like fear and utter hatred.
I'm just going to step forward. So, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take off your gag here. We're gonna give you 5 minutes to use the restroom and some food to eat, and then you're going to go back in the office. There, keep in mind, you are unarmed, and several of us are here, and I still have my staff. Do you understand? Nod if yes.
He pauses for a moment and then nods.
Good. Jose will go to, like, untie him, but keep, like, arms and legs kind of bound, like, in a prisoner sort of way, so, like, he can, in theory, walk, but not, like, run or punch too hard.
Okay. The man seems to comply pretty readily. He goes about his business and then comes back to the office. And Erica, I believe you mentioned you wanted to bring him food?
Yes, I brought a few sandwiches there for him and some bran muffins, you know. He's a prisoner, you know. I ain't gonna give him the chocolate chips, but
Oh. Are they oatmeal raisin cookies?
That's where they go.
oatmeal raisin muffins, you know. I get cookies again. Way too friendly for a prisoner.
I can't believe Erica's violating the Geneva Convention, committing war crimes by torturing a prisoner, giving them raisin cookies. It's image in my head. I thought better of you, Doc.
Although there's some apple slices cut like little bunnies in it.
That's gonna be the most
Delightful.
confused prisoner ever.
Alright, now you eat up and get your strength back. We're gonna be back later and we have a few questions to ask of you. You got that?
They nod again. They go about eating. It's you did wait, actually you can't taste the food, right? So you could have tried it while you made it.
Yes, Erica can taste, yeah.
Delightful.
You were gonna make me roll
Okay.
for the quality of my muffins, weren't you?
I was about to. And then I realized how foolish that would be of me.
Before we go, I do want to just ask them. Now, I do want to say this. What's your name, laddie?
He is very tense. Like he's barely looking any of you in the eyes, and when he is, it's like a very quick glance.
I mean, makes sense.
Just the first name will do.
Isaac.
Isaac. Alright, Isaac. You wait up. We'll be back for you.
He doesn't respond to that. He just starts eating.
Danny is gonna go out back into the alleyway, and he is gonna pull out his phone and make a call.
You son of a bitch.
Okay.
Specifically, he is gonna make a call to Becca Daniels, head of the Nosferatu.
Delightful. Okay. And what do you say to her once you get her on the phone?
Yeah, like I imagine he comes up, he's like, Becca, is that you?
Annie? Is that you? Yeah, that's me.
He nods on like the other phone to himself. Good. I assume you already know I'm in town since you know everything in this city, so I'll cut right to the chase. And he like looks up at like a street sign. 2524 West Cranston Road. There's a bar here. In about an hour, I'm gonna need you to get onto the computer here and make a server disappear. Can you do that for me?
I mean, yeah, but why do I have to do the whole server? Like, you know that's gonna run you, right?
Yeah, you see Danny narrows his eyes. You know what you and my sire went through back in New York. Do this for me, we'll call it even.
You hear the surprise in her voice.
Oh? It's worth that much? Really? This dumb little server.
He swallows. As long as it is 100% gone, yes.
Okay, well, if you insist.
Yeah, and he like puts down the phone and like he hangs up. Puts the phone in his pocket, kind of breathes out heavily, and then moves back into the bar. So, we meeting with the prince or what?
Oh no, yeah, Jose was just telling us about how all his important photos of memories of people of his time at the army are in this server, in this computer, and there are no other copies. He'd be heartbroken if something happened to him. But luckily, nothing
It also
will.
has all of my my finances and taxes for the bar. So if it were to suddenly break, I'd be kind of out because I wouldn't be able to uphold the like cover of my bar. So if anyone were to like harm it, I'd have to murder them brutally.
Yeah, no, you'd absolutely completely fucked, my dude. Hopefully, thankfully nothing's gonna happen to it.
Yes.
Cool.
Excellent. So, what do you guys actually say?
I think Jose is finishing up tying up the prisoner and is gonna just nod. Everything looks good on our end. Find anything, Theo?
Do I find anything?
Okay, well, here's the thing. What are you looking for, Theodore, particularly?
See, here's the thing. I could also just look at the other files on Jose's computer. I don't imagine you don't put anything important on a work computer, though, but...
I mean, supposedly.
You're giving me access to a lot.
And it is Jose's big rig.
Yeah,
As we know.
It's also
it's Jose's gaming rig. Yeah.
your big gaming rig.
You can check out my Steam library.
Aw. He has honey puppets that given to him solely as a joke.
800 hours in Skyrim, Jose. What the fuck?
No, it's 10,000 hours in Doom. Across every iteration of Doom, there's like...
Valid.
You still got Spore on this thing?
Also a lot of Wolfenstein and just...
Implying Jose doesn't play nothing but Medal of Honor and shit-talking the historical accuracy.
Amazing.
Well, that's what I do in my spare time.
Can't believe Erika's a gamer.
Erica only consumes media that takes place before she went to her sleepy time. Before she went into torpor, and then she just complains about historical inaccuracies the whole time. Downton Abbey, she's just a big fan. Sorry.
I do want to pull up the security footage and maybe see if I can get anything, but like on the side, I want to.
We're about to go.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I shouldn't look at it whatsoever. Like, why would I need to? No.
I mean, why would
he's
you
not
though?
going...
Like right now.
Danny, why are you sweating blood?
That is a thing that can happen. Oh, wait, no, I think I already cursed you with that knowledge the first time around.
Oh, you did.
Nasty. Here, Dan, you'll take my handkerchief.
Hey, I'm not the one who wrote it.
You're sweating buckets of blood.
I do kind of want to use this one power I have with Technomancy, which is called Encrypt/Decrypt.
Okay.
Which is more specifically used on government files, I think. But I believe it can also be used by things that are lower than that, yeah? I'd hope so.
Definitely.
I will tell you,
Definitely.
there's nothing of that level of encryptment on this particular computer.
I was gonna find your secret files. Can I at least find something that has your passwords all on here?
Yeah,
I think there's like a lot of like bank statements and financial records because it's a work
Boring.
computer.
There's a sticky note with all Jose's passwords.
Boo!
I will say there will be like a small like more hidden file about like contracts Jose has taken. There isn't like a lot of specifics, but like you can kind of pick up on it's like something he does infrequently for a lot of money, like 10% of the money he gets to a like Swiss bank account.
Hold on, you said a lot of words there and I blanked out on part of it. So Swiss bank account, something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, something he does infrequently, gets paid a lot for, then puts like a decent like amount of it into a Swiss bank account, like the same account every time, as his like tithe to the Asimite organization. It's a requirement of any contract you do. You pay tithe like I believe 10% of whatever you make.
Asimite has become Catholic.
Well, they are Abrahamic, but not quite Catholic.
We'll get there. Okay, so I would like very much Theodore to please, in order to find all this in the first place.
Yeah,
Perception
I'm
plus
not gonna,
technology.
Also, I want to add, I'm not going to look specifically, like, go through the entirety of the security footage, but they are asking about it, so I just want to have it see if it's, like, good quality and that stuff.
Okay. Once again,
Just have
perception
things
plus
to report back
technology.
to.
And if you roll high enough, you might get Danny's secret, but
Right.
I'm keeping that number of successes to myself.
Is it 69?
Sorry. I had to remember how
What
to
was
roll
that,
this.
Phil?
Nothing.
No. Share with the class, please.
Yeah, I'm sure you have something very.
Is the
Yeah,
number of
Phil.
successes 69? I'm sorry.
I hope you're happy with yourself.
I am.
I didn't catch it. Can you repeat
Good.
it?
Is the number of successes required 69?
Please, I need you to isolate that and send it to me.
No.
I feel like that was
Cookie, I need you to isolate that and send it to me. Thank
I
you.
will.
Cookie's on my side.
I'm on the side of chaos, Julian.
I felt like that was Alexa talking to me, like
Oh God.
totally
Yeah, you had that was a
very crisp.
that was a really nice cadence.
Very crisp. Excellent. I hated it, but excellent.
Just remind me again, intelligence and computer?
Perception plus computer.
2 successes.
You glance through the security files, and it's like, yeah, the video's good enough quality, no biggie. You don't notice anything weird on them. Your search also reveals pretty much what Jose said. You can't really make heads or tails of it, where it's like, oh yeah, that's a lot of money being transferred in and out, or like, oh, okay, that's forged. Sometimes forged, sometimes not. Bank statements, things like that. With that, I do want to ask, Gabe, how are you rationalizing keeping a person tied up in Jose's bar? Because this isn't normal. You know that.
Well, yeah, but his rationale is that this man is trying to harm people. So,
Okay.
like, just because he's a good person,
One day he's gonna
or supposed to be
break.
a good person at least, doesn't mean that he
He
doesn't
will
understand
break.
that there are people who do bad things out there.
One day he's gonna break.
who need to be prevented from doing those things.
Yeah. He's not a violence. He's
Yeah, no, he doesn't like using violence, and he would rather do other things. But
But he's not.
I will say, Jillian, if you think it's justified, like, you can just straight up say roll conscience. Because, like,
No, I do think that there's a good basis here of this vampire hunter, like, actively attacked you guys. I will make this harder as it goes on, though.
Violence for violence is rules of the beast.
Thank you, Obama.
yeah, I just, like,
I forgot
Anyways.
about that.
because, like, whether or not it's objectively justified does not necessarily matter for conscience. Is just a point to know. Like, it's just more about, like, does that feel like something that's okay to do, if that makes sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like the in-lore explanation though. I will tell the others, security looks good. Don't have time to scrub through it, or all of it, because there's a lot here. Even if I go to a specific timestamp, we still have the meeting to go to first. So, but otherwise, it looks good too. It looks good, and for to go through later.
Yeah, the thing is, it'll be here when we get back, so no problems, really.
Nothing's gonna
Oh,
happen
boy.
to this thing.
Absolutely nothing.
But before we go, Erica's gonna just look at Jose. Do you mind if I borrow your computer for something real quick?
Oh boy.
By all means.
Need help with that?
Yeah, what does Erica want to do here?
Erica wants.
Oh man, everybody's interested in the fucking computer after I do this now, all of a sudden.
What is Erica gonna do with that?
I'm feeling like a fucking... God damn it. It's harassment.
Erica's gonna I just.
Erica's gonna play Bejeweled. Come on.
She's 100% gonna play solitaire.
Don't worry, I'll call my friend Becca Daniels to protect the server. We should be
If
fine.
anything, Erica's gonna accidentally delete it, so...
No, what Erica wants to do is she's gonna point the screen to Isaac. She's gonna go on YouTube and she's gonna put on a YouTube playlist of Mr. Rogers for him to watch while he's tied up. Yeah, she's just gonna put that on for him.
Theodore quickly changes to Caramel Dancing, and then while the rest of the session goes on,
No.
it's just the rainbow lights coming out of Jose's office.
Yes. I will
Honestly,
edit
no,
that.
that's
Don't
real
test me.
fucking psychological torture.
It's a Mr. Rogers playlist, but every fourth video is Caramel Dancing.
Yes.
Caramel Rogers.
She's gonna turn to Isaac and say, "Now you stay put there. listen, I know you've been through a lot, but we don't want to hurt you anymore, alright? Just work with us. And listen to Mr. Rogers, he's good folk.
He regards you with severe skepticism. Not about the Mr. Rogers bit, about the bit where you don't want to hurt him. There's no way this man is getting out alive.
Yeah.
I want to beg to differ, but I'm not going to say it in Erica's voice, because then everyone's going to...
Don't worry, I'm going to take him to my farm upstate.
Jose,
Okay, so...
Sorry, we can continue.
All right, come with, we're going to untie you, come with us, we're taking you to the ranch.
Oh, God.
Okay. We will move on to you all going into Prince Tabitha's office. You all get clearance, go through security, up the elevator. And Gabe, I believe you need to roll in order to not be a complete idiot in her presence because you're terrified of her.
Yes, I need to roll. If I roll here.
Gabe scare of pretty lady.
Valid.
That's a mood.
Written down somewhere. Willpower, I believe. Yes.
Okay, willpower, self-control. Yeah.
Ob 7.
Okay.
Hey, got 3
3.
successes.
Hey.
Beautiful.
There's 2 10s in there.
Yeah.
I can be a normal person.
Yay.
We're proud of
So I
you.
imagine...
As normal as Gabe
It was
is.
definitely...
Well,
Gabe is the most normal one here.
I don't have to like
Yes,
cower.
he runs a cult.
I say
Yeah.
I am fucking a self-deceiving vampiric cult leader. What's weird about that?
Listen, the bar is
Nothing at all.
not very...
Like, versus everyone else. Pretty normal, probably.
I would say fucking Patrick and Danny and Jose are all more normal than Gabe.
Yeah, actually, Patrick's probably the most
Well,
normal.
by
and
human standards, at least.
Yeah, I'm going to remove Jose from contention. He still is an assassin. That isn't super normal.
Yeah,
I
like, at least Gabe isn't an open
Listen,
murderer
you're saying
yet,
cults aren't
so-
normal, but like,
Yeah.
my clan is kind of entirely a cult, so...
Yep.
Well, you're not a cult exactly.
Stop the
Thank you
cult
very much.
apologism.
Well, like if you were like a Setite, then it'd be like, yeah, you're straight up a cult. But like the Tremere aren't like religious.
It's just
You
an
can be a
extremely
cult and not be
close
religious.
family. Yeah, exactly. Well, no,
I don't
hold
think
up,
you
need
can.
to
I think
look
the
up
definition of a cult is
No, there
religious.
are non-religious cults.
Yeah, there are secular cults.
It does specify cult is in the definition a religious following.
Fair enough.
Listeners, tweet at Nick and argue with him about cults.
I don't think Nick has a Twitter,
Oh,
or if he
dang
does,
it.
I don't follow him.
Don't tweet us.
Aren't we technically forming a cult to yell at him about cults?
Yes.
Okay, you all enter in Prince Tabitha's office, and she's dressed very sharply in a blue blazer, and she's wearing some... branching out in her fashion sense, she's wearing some shoulder pads, very 80s, and it's not like too strong. She's just experimenting a little bit. Let the woman live. She glances up at you all. Oh, welcome. I'm so glad that you all are back. How was your first night? Please come in.
Well, we got attacked by hunters, but I don't know. Is this normal for you guys?
I certainly hope it isn't.
I haven't
was,
had a run with hunters ever, I think, but I don't know about everyone else.
Can't say it's part of my day-to-day.
Well, the important thing is we didn't suffer any casualties. We're all fine.
Good. I mean, obviously, since you all are standing here in front of me instead of piles of ash.
He nods. So,
Now, please, fill me in. What all have you found out? She looks very eager.
On first glance, not a lot. We know that they do serve kindred, but to what extent is unclear. Nothing we found is technically a violation of the masquerade or anything like that. No semblance of ulterior groups or motives that we found. We have all been hired by the circus, though, to give us a little more time and leeway with our investigation.
Near as I could see, they were mostly just a money-making business. There did not seem to be any kind of, like my accomplice here, not accomplice. like my comrade here said. Oh, I'm a communist now. Okay.
That's worse.
Like my friend here said.
Is he saying all of this in character in front of Tabitha?
It's just
He says it in his head this time because he rolled high.
I was gonna say he succeeded his don't fuck up roll, so.
yeah,
he
exactly.
gets some leeway.
That's not canonical right there. Anyway, as I was saying, like my friend here said, there didn't seem to be any masquerade violations there. There didn't seem to be much of an ulterior motive, that at least not as far as I could see. I'm a little less well versed in the way this whole world operates, however, so take that as you will.
I will say Danny, like, glares over at Jose. Like, and not even like outside, like he looks at him like, are you gonna tell her or should I?
Which part?
If you clearly know who the ringleader is and you're not telling them, then like Danny would still definitely be on that.
Yeah, some of the employees seem to be kindred, and the person in charge seems to be agreeable to hiring kindred, so I'm assuming he's a kindred himself, but there wasn't anything outwardly immediately suspicious.
No, they do seem to take their precautions. When Patrick did,
We did
there was
some.
one instance where Patrick displayed a bit more strength than the usual kind, we'll say. They were pretty alarmed and pulled us aside for that. And they have people with aspects to check for kindred versus
Indeed.
cyclical folk.
They do seem very concerned with the masquerade. I wouldn't worry about any violation on that front.
However, they haven't left your territory yet, so if you'd like us to keep our post, they have offered us some employment.
Yes.
She nods at that. Okay, well, that could be a good foot in the door, and I think more information is needed. It's a little too early. Just because they aren't obviously violating the masquerade doesn't mean there isn't something. She looks at each of you. I would very much like more information on the leader of this carnival or whatever, and to ask around, since you all are employees now, I suppose. See if you can find any idea of what they're doing here, if it is just a money-making thing. I know some kindred are obsessed with accumulating wealth, but that... there are better ways to go about it. I just feel like there's something more here, and she shudders. I hate to think of what would happen if anyone were to suffer due to... She kind of gives you guys a bit of a glare. Negligence.
Of course, we will be as thorough as we can be.
She kind of, her tone shifts from a very, like, passive-aggressive to cheerful, like, oh, excellent, thank you, that reassures me. I have no idea how long this is in town for, so I hope you can make quick work of it.
Of course.
Okay, well, I would actually like to talk with each of you in private just real quick before you go, so if everyone could step out into the hallway and... Okay. Erica? She points at you. I would very much like your account as to what happened. You don't need to take too long, just... She shoos the rest of you out. Just tell me, from your perspective, what happened.
All right, I suppose that'd be all right. I'll see everyone in a few moments.
And you notice, Prince Tabitha, like, literally stares at you, unblinking, as you all leave the room. So there's no chance to pull any funny shit.
Fun.
Oh, I thought you meant she was staring at me personally, like, oh, okay.
No, goodness, that'd be very intimidating.
I'll see.
Erica, what are you gonna tell Prince Tabitha?
Well, I'm gonna tell her the truth as best as I remember it. Well, you see there, Your Highness, your princeliness, your Tabithiness. Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm going to just ignore that last one. I mean, the circus seemed, on the surface, pretty normal, you know? I've seen my fair share of circuses here and there around, but, you know, they had their performers. I have to say, they might have been using their vampiric powers to make their performances a little more interesting, but so finely that the untrained eye could barely tell. After all, well, Father Gabe and I, we went to the tent with the dogs. They were very cute, by the way. They had a pretty good enclosure as well. Lots of space, lovely obstacle courses, and some seals. Anyways, we tested the area for, you know, suspicious activity, and Father Gabe thankfully had his cross to brandish, and he, in attempting to spook the dogs, might have done a bit of spooking to the dog master, if you get my drift. He scared them into backing away, and, well, you see, Prince, really all we could tell was that there's definitely vampires running that circus. They've been careful about everything, of course, making sure not to, you know, reveal themselves to the humans that are attending, but I have to be honest, I'm not sure what's bringing all the humans there. Word of mouth is getting around, but people have just been drawn there, if you know what I mean. That might just be my suspicion, of course. I don't really know what the hive minds are these days. I don't keep up with the tweeting trends or whatever kids are on. But the feller running the circus seems to be a reputable feller, although has terrible first aid services at his circus, I must say. But yes, we'll look into things further, but as far as I could tell, things didn't seem too out of the ordinary.
She nods at that. Excellent, excellent. Good to hear. Thank you so much. Please, go out there, send in Gabriel, if you don't mind.
Not a problem. I'm loving the shoulder pads, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I figured I'd branch out and try something different.
Eric will step out in the hall and tap Gabe on the shoulder. You're next, Father. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to spook you.
No worries
Oh my
at all.
gosh, they're so cute. They're so fucking cute. I can't. Yes, one of them runs a cult, and yes, the other one is like a not convicted murderer, but like has killed hundreds of people, hundreds of Nazis aren't anything like that. They're adorable, and I love them. Okay, Gabe, you're up next.
Alright, Gabe's gonna walk into the room. Good evening, again.
Good evening. You notice she seems very, like, curt and cold towards you.
Can I help you? Is there something you'd like to know, or?
Oh my.
She raises her eyebrows. As I was saying earlier before you all left, I'd very much like your side of what happened this past evening, if that's all right with you, of course.
Yes, I am very sorry, ma'am. I am so sorry. We arrived at the circus. When we arrived, it was fairly clear they were keeping an eye out for folks like us. They offered us some. Well, I suppose it was just blood, wasn't it? But it was disguised maybe as some hot chocolate. I don't really know what was going on there, but it was clear that they knew that we were kindred before we were offered anything. So they were keeping an eye out for us. Beyond that, I went to see the Big Top, see their little show there. Lots of animals and clowns and things. Pretty standard circus stuff. Something maybe slightly extreme. And the same thing goes after the Miss Erica to the dog tent. I don't know how else to call it really. I have to confess, I did make a bit of a scene there, but discovered that the dogs were most likely just dogs, and were not actually vampires disguising themselves as dogs, or excuse me, kindred. Excuse me, I know you don't like that word. After that, well, we met back up and were promptly, attacked. We got back to the bar. I got shot. I didn't see a lot was going on. I was mostly trying not to die or die again. And yeah, now we're here.
She nods. Thank you. That will be sufficient. Please go out and send in Patrick if you don't mind.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good evening. Gabe will just kind of quickly, with small steps, walk out. Patrick, I believe it's your turn. Good luck.
This feels like getting called to the principal's office. Okay.
She's in a bit of a mood. Keep a level head.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with you, Gabe. I just walk in. Hello. Patrick sits down and says, "So, I'm assuming you want a recounting of what went down in the circus? My version of the events, so to speak."
She nods and gives you a warm smile. Yes, please, if you don't mind. Just real quick, I don't need everything, I suppose, but the important details.
Patrick real quick does a lady doing math meme, because Gabe just told him that Tabitha was in a mood, and then now she isn't, so Patrick's a bit confused, and he goes, well, we went there, they were clearly spotting out for Kindred. We were pretty much recognized on the spot by the first stand we came across with. Apparently the staffer there was using discipline aspects, if I'm not mistaken. After talking for a bit, we decided to split up, and I went with Mr. Collins to check out the rides. We ended up speaking a bit with one of the employees there, kind of getting the lay of the land of like how the employees are treated. He was a kindred, and kind of like checking in on how the circus operates and who the boss was. Honestly, there was nothing of much interest there, and then José arranged a meeting with Tristan, was the name of the ringleader, for us to get a job so we could, continue the investigation more up close and without pesky limits of just going as a patron.
She nods again. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Prince.
That might have been my inner Julian breaking out. I'm sorry.
You're good.
That's another line for the Julian drawstring, I guess. You're doing great. Theodore next, please, if you don't mind.
All right. I'll send him in right on. Patrick goes out and goes, "Hey, Theodore, it's your turn in the office."
Sweet. Time to go. Not fuck this up.
I sure hope so.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Alright.
Prince Tabitha waves you in and welcomes you. Hello, Theodore, please. Just real quick. I want your account as to what happened last evening. Just real quick, just a moment of your time.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard most of this from Patrick, but we will win together as a group. We're offered some hot chocolate with blood, interestingly, but we find out later that this is offered to us because the kindred managing the booth had aspects. We later split up to find information, and Patrick and I found a check your strength booth, and managed to get the contact with the guy there. So we're also offered a job by Tristan, the guy there. Oh no, is there anything interesting over here? I took a look at the circus's like website when I had time. It's honestly, it's very vague. I don't know how. They're definitely not gaining traction from this thing because it's very vague and it's very bad. Like, it looks pretty alright, but like, man, it could have been better put together, you know?
The user experience was trash.
It was trash. Couldn't even
The
find
SEO was just
an absolute mess.
This man's never done a day of programming in his life. She laughs at that. Oh, well, I suppose that's for the best then. The less people that go there, the better. But she shrugs. Thank you for telling me. If you could please send Jose in next.
Yeah. Jose?
Jose stands up. I think this whole time he's been like, he's monkeying around with a deck of playing cards because he assumes Tristan's gonna make him follow through with his jab about stage magic, but nods and kind of shuffles the deck into his sleeve and it disappears, and
That was my
goes
card.
to walk in.
Oh my god. How did you do it?
He'll give everyone a nod, then enter and close the door behind him. Good evening.
Good evening, Jose. Lovely to see you. I just need a quick recount as to anything important that happened last night.
Okay, last night we entered. There was a stand that was supposed to be giving out hot chocolate, but instead they gave us blood that tasted like hot chocolate. It clearly wasn't any actual food because we would have thrown it up, but that's interesting. Me and Danny decided to take a look at some of the back tents while everyone checked out the more outward-facing parts. He was briefly caught, but he seemed to clear up everything well. We entered the back, nothing of interest in the crates, but it does seem like the head, Tristan, is getting blood from a local hospital.
She looks surprised at that. Legally, or...?
All the paperwork is in order, and I do have photographs of it if you'd like.
Yes, please. I imagine that you all will keep a file of some sorts with everything important in it, so...
Of course.
If you could please. And actually, she pauses. Make two, just a copy, just in case.
Of course, I'm always big on backups. I've been in this game a long time.
Not enough to back up your computer, but okay.
Well, he does have a USB with that night's footage on it.
Fair.
But, about the incident with the hunters, as we were leaving, it seemed that, Mr. Rose seemed to get very nervous at the prospect of hunters, and he seems very flighty whenever it comes up, almost as if he were anticipating something.
She gives you a bit of a questioning look. Alright, well, he did mention that in his interview. As long as he doesn't run out on you guys and run off, I don't see any reason to suspect anything.
Of course
Thank
not.
you for bringing this to my attention.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
We did meet, the ringleader, like the front face of the circus, and, He's someone I've worked for in the past, but, how do I put this? Something seemed off about him.
Like what?
I'm not sure. This whole circus had a whole air about it, almost like dominator presence. It just something that gets in your head, makes you feel like you're at home, like you're safe. And even the ringmaster, like I said, someone I know, someone I've worked with, he seemed more. He was a very energetic person, a very big, larger than world, but he seemed desperate and bored and unappeased, and it's very strange of him.
Her eyes kind of flash at that. Like her expression turns dim. Well, I hope that doesn't pose a problem for us in the future. I imagine you'll be keeping tabs on him, correct?
Of course, and if it were anyone high-ranking enough to mess with any of your plans, I'd of course let you know.
She looks content with that answer. Good to hear. Thank you very much, Jose. Now please, send in Daniel.
Of course, and I'll get those pictures sent over to you tonight.
Thank you.
Hey,
Now,
Danny.
real quick.
Oh.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Does Jose have the USB on him, or is it at the place?
Jose's gonna be keeping the flash drive on his person. He's paranoid, and I don't think he'd, leave it at the bar or anything.
Cool. Okay, and so Jose, send in for Danny, if you don't mind.
He's just gonna nod to Danny. You're up.
Hello, I imagine you know the situation by now.
Yeah, he sits down and he just like straight up looks at her immediately. So did he tell you?
She looks surprised. Well, tell me what?
That he knows the guy running the circus. Jose, I mean.
She looks a little relieved. Yes, he revealed that he had done a job for him prior, and that it won't get in the way of what the job he is currently doing. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, though. I imagine that if anyone would do it, it would be you.
Danny raises an eyebrow. Did he tell you that the guy told him not to tell you about him? You know, as if he was worried about what you'd do?
She looks a little disappointed. No, he did not tell me that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. You see she writes something down. That's very good to know, though.
He nods. You want my take? I'm gonna guess that it's someone who really shouldn't be in the city if they're that worried about it. But I don't have any proof for that. So we'll have to take that as it comes. But he kind of raises up his hands. All right, elephant out of the way. Like he probably told you. Me and Jose split up with the back. We went into the back hallways. Not hallways, the back tents. And checked out all of their storage area. We searched a couple places, but the place that proved most fruitful was a truck that contained a bunch of blood from a nearby hospital. After that, or rather before that, I got stuck in a tricky situation, but I managed to break away from it all right. I checked the main office while I was there, and then again when we came back to try to get the job opportunity. But I didn't see anything obviously suspicious in the office. Nothing up front anyway. Other than that, like I said, it's clearly run by Kindred. They seem to be dedicated to upholding the masquerade. Although, frankly, the biggest concern to me is that we still don't know why they're doing this. I mean, it just seems very specific. For this many Kindred to get together to run a circus? It doesn't even... If they're importing blood in from a hospital, it doesn't seem like it'd be used as a feeding ground. I just don't get why.
She nods and taps her head. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm glad you're on the same page as me. That's very reassuring. Well, I imagine that you all will look more into this. I, however, would like for you in particular to keep half an eye out on this Tristan fellow, and how Jose interacts with him. I fear that there may be something going on here.
He nods. Of course, Prince. And yeah, he like tries to look around. Unfortunately, that's about all I got. So I'll keep you informed on all the details going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate your loyalty in this situation.
Yeah, he nods, and I guess he gets up to go then.
She waves you away. Have a lovely evening. Good luck at your new job. She sounds a little amused at that.
Hey, this is Philip. I'd like to say on behalf of everyone who does our thing here at Show Some Initiative that we are so grateful for all of our listeners and all our whole audience. You know, it's just a treat for all of us to get to make something like this together and put it out there, regardless of how big it is. That's not the goal. It's just fun for us to create in this way and to collaborate on this project and to tell a story together. And it's even more fun when we have an audience. So thank you again to everyone who's been faithfully listening along, especially for everyone who's listening to every single little, extra episodes like those Nicopedias, those Monte Cassino tales, all of that stuff. If you want to keep track of us, the best way to do that is through our link tree. Basically, it's just a mini website that has links to all of our social media and where you can find our podcasts at. So all you have to do is if you type in Linktree with the dot between the R and the E's of tree, so linktr.ee/show some initiative, or if I want to spell out the whole thing, let's see if I can do it here. linktr.ee/showsomeinitiative. I think I did that right. Anyway, show some initiative. Hopefully you can spell that better than I can, at least in my head. That way you can find our Tumblr, our Instagram, our YouTube, Twitter, whatever else you need, Apple Podcasts, various different podcatchers. So that's the best way for you to keep track of us and keep up to date with when we're posting episodes. Just remember, every 2 weeks we've got a new episode, and in between weeks we've got new little fun stuff. So with the business part of things out of the way, I'll just talk a little bit about my experience playing Gabe. I'm not new to the world of TTRPGs, but I am new to the world of Vampire, and so I thought, it only made sense to make a character who is not knowledgeable, or whose lack of knowledge kind of mirrors my own lack of knowledge of the world. So that's one seed of what grew into the character Gabe. I'd say another is, as I was reading through the material and preparing for the campaign, I found there's a lot of darkness in this world. I mean, it's World of Darkness, right? But there's a lot of darkness in this world, no pun intended. The mechanics of the game or the games and the world itself, it seems to kind of encourage or push players toward making these very jaded characters or these very morally gray characters. And for me, Gabe was part of a push back against that and saying, no, I want a character who knows they're doing the right thing. I know that Gabe's role as a pastor might not reflect always doing the right thing to some people, and I absolutely respect everyone's own beliefs and opinions and personal experiences with that. But I thought, coming at this from a point of religion, honestly, I was just flipping through the book, and when I saw the true faith virtue, I thought, I have to have that. There's no way I can't have that. That's just fun. That's just interesting and quirky and goofy. Why not have an ultra-Christian vampire? So that's what I made, and I went for the more like youth pastory, goofy route, just again for fun, to lighten up the things. And I've really enjoyed playing Gabe. It's also very interesting to play Gabe in a group where you have total newbies like him, or people who are, I guess Erica is not a total newbie exactly, but she's still not very knowledgeable about the whole world of the masquerade and all of this stuff. So it's interesting to have, you know, Erica and Gabe together, for example, playing together and just being totally clueless together. But then it's also interesting to play Gabe off of someone like Nick Danny, played by Nick, or José, who are very knowledgeable about the world. They've been running in it for decades. So it's very interesting to see how, on the one hand, we have Gabe, who's very new, very, I'd say hopeful, very optimistic. And then you have these other elder kindred who are, I wouldn't say they're pessimistic. They would probably say they're realistic, I suppose. But they're much more jaded personality-wise and in their temperament. And so it's very interesting to see that, you know, I mean, in one hand, like you see like the denial of what he is almost for Gabe, or the refusal to recognize the more monstrous aspects of what it means to be kindred, and face that against Patrick, who just kind of does what he does and doesn't really think much about it. It's very interesting to juxtapose those two. And I'm very excited for the future of Gabe and where the character will lead. You know, I'm not really certain, but I definitely think that we're going to see him tested. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I think his preconceptions about morality and justice and righteousness, I think that's going to be tested somewhat. And I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out on the other end. But spoilers for me too. I don't know. Just to wrap things up though, again, we love it so much that you're all listening to our podcast. Remember to hit up our Twitter or Instagram or Tumblr. Those are our primary, you know, social media places where you can find info about what's going on with the show, when new episodes are dropping. But of course, we also love if you can rate and comment on all of the various podcatchers like Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're finding us. That helps us a lot to reach a larger audience, and it also helps us to figure out what we're doing and figure out what we can do better, basically. And that's what we're here for. And hey, who knows? If you leave a comment, you might have your comment read on a future episode of Show Some Initiative. And today I'm going to read a comment that was posted on our YouTube channel. This is from Ava Yena 2.0. I hope I'm saying it right. And in response to a little bit of a ribbing that I got on a particular episode, they say, "Hey, I like Gabe." Thank you, Ava Yena. At least I'm supported by somebody here. So one last time, an enormous thank you, and also a Happy New Year. It's a little bit late, I suppose, but it's within the week. Well, it's within a couple weeks. And with no further ado, please enjoy the rest of the episode.
So you all are reunited in the hallway, and she's kind of told you to mosey on off.
So now that we've got the meeting with the prince out of the way and we're all together, Jose had something to tell us last session and he never got to. So Patrick will ask about that.
I imagine on the car ride back to the bar, maybe.
Okay. Did you all carpool? I don't...
Because we have the one truck, remember?
So we've been taking the one truck to, you know, deter fucking bullets from hunters.
Listen, we are immortals. We care about the environment. We specifically will be here when shit goes down with the ozone. So we recycle.
And as vampires, we do want the ozone to be, you know, not fucked up. More sun is not good for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you all are back at the bar, and then Patrick asks Jose.
Yeah. Oh.
Is this before the interrogation?
Yeah, well, what
I think, while we're in the car,
car.
on the way.
Oh, by the way, Jose, I remember you saying you had something to tell us, and we kind of got sidetracked with the whole, fight deal. Is this a conversation that can happen now, or do we need to wait for the bar?
Absolutely. I'd prefer to have it in like a car where we're all, we know we're all together and not being listened to than somewhere else, So I'm sure some of you noticed that our good friend who is currently employing us seemed to know me personally.
Yes.
Yeah. So I figured it was only fair that I clue you into who he is.
Yeah, you think that, but are you gonna say it?
It's your dad, isn't it?
He's a Sabbat friend of mine that I worked for once.
Oh.
La Sombra, did you notice the whole shadow thing happening?
I mean, I just thought he liked his office gloomy, but yeah, yes.
Nah, he's got one of them special disciplines that the Sabbat have. Obteneration. It's about controlling the shadows. I got him out of the Sabbat game, and he taught me the discipline as a reward for doing so. But he left for the Anarchs, so not exactly someone I want to be telling the Prince about, considering he's a friend of mine,
Oh boy.
I mean, does he have to roll for that? Because that's just straight up a lie.
Yeah.
It's straight up a lie.
It is.
It is straight up lying.
I mean, you could have fooled me, literally.
But it is. I will say that was intentionally based off of the thing he told Danny earlier about how he got his obteneration.
Yeah, I will say it's definitely a good lie, but like it is still a lie.
It's a good lie, yeah, but it is a lie.
Yes. Ooh, okay. I think this is definitely going to be perception plus empathy for you guys to spot it versus manipulation plus subterfuge for Jose.
Any chance that op can be lower because I used I'm building upon a previous lie?
By 1 to 5.
I'd say that's absolutely fair, yeah. Like, he worked that in pretty solidly.
Yeah.
Hello, does Auspex come into play with this? Probably not, but I'm asking anyways.
I honestly, if you had taken the time to sit down and find out what the auras meant, yes, but you don't. So if you want, you can make a note of what color it was in the future, but
I will
off the
make
top
a
of your
note
head.
too.
I'm gonna spend a 1 willpower here to make that a 3. Just so I'm matching people so far.
Understandable. And as we established last time, it goes to the defender, which in this case is Jose. So 3.
Somebody get a 4.
3.
Yeah,
1.
I am waiting to see what Danny gets.
Oh, Daniel.
Theodore did better than you.
Okay, so let's
roll
roll
through
5
this
in a
real
stat.
quick.
Don't matter if your rolls fucking suck.
So I'm gonna spend 2 willpower to see past the. I'm just kidding.
No,
You only spend
You
1
can only
willpower
spend
per
1.
roll.
I will say
I know. I'm just being a shithead.
Patrick is gonna spend 1 willpower to see this.
Oh, okay. So going down, Jose, you rolled a
3.
And then in order to beat that, you have to get above a 3. So going down the list, Patrick.
I got a 3, but I'm spending a willpower to boost that up to a 4.
Danny.
Solid 0.
Gabe.
3.
Theodore.
1.
Erica.
I do want to spend a willpower and get a 4, actually, too.
I'm kind of curious about that, yeah.
I'm sick of not knowing shit.
Rami, willpower refreshes every night or something?
Every mini arc.
Mini arc?
Every minute.
Okay.
Yes, so more
Actually,
or less
question:
every
has it refreshed since?
I think we talked about last time was the end of a mini
Yes.
arc. So yeah.
Nice.
It should have refreshed.
Okay. So yes, I'm going to spend
It is
a
set
point.
in mini mark.
Thanks, Julian.
Refill that 8 willpower.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Erica.
Oh, excuse me. I have a 4 now, spending that willpower.
Okay, so Patrick, Gabe, and Erica, you all notice that Jose seems a little, it's the small things, the not meeting your eyes entirely, some shifts, some changes in tone. It doesn't quite add up. It could be something to talk about later, but Danny seems satisfied, and Theodore, did you activate your auspex on this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Jose, would you say you're more, distrustful, or are you more anxious that people are gonna find out your secret here, or are you just kind of trying to keep this level-headed?
I imagine just, level-headed, yeah.
Okay. So, Theodore, you don't know what these auras mean, but you do notice that Jose's is a nice shade of lavender. I do want to say that Danny would definitely be light green right now.
Pulling up the
here, let me-
colors.
I don't remember what that
can
means,
we all
but
get a
it sounds
color?
menacing.
Distrustful. I'm not gonna go through and sign everyone.
Distrustful.
I'll
Yeah, you're
go ahead
damn
and
right.
share this in
Danny's light
vampire
green, though.
sources.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Julian. I thought you were just
Here,
going
this
based
is-
on vibes. Please excuse me.
Yeah, imagine being
Vibe
Danny
check.
in this situation where he's like, he must be hiding something from the group. It's like, yeah, I'm just trying to protect my friend who's an anarch that I, saved from the Sabbat. Danny's like, oh, fuck.
All right. You all are at Jose's bar, about ready to interrogate this person. Last call for anything you guys wanted to do. I imagine we'll do the interrogation scene and then wrap up,
Yeah.
because it's getting to be around that time.
The time that I turned into a bat. Yes.
Oh god, you got Protean 4 too? Nice.
Erica didn't. Tori
Do you
did.
yell bat when you're transforming? Do you yell bat unnecessarily loud
Yes.
while you're transforming?
I'm going
No.
bad! And then you transform.
Oh no, Cookie, you've been a bat for more than 2 hours.
I'm gonna get stuck
Personally,
like that.
I just softly whisper under my breath, bat time, bat time, bat time, bat time.
Aw. Oh my gosh, Tori. Okay, so you guys are at the bar. Go on, roleplay.
I think, Jose, what night would it be of the week at this point?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So I think the bar is probably pretty slow.
So what I want to know as Cookie is why were they at the circus, and how did they spot us? Why us specifically? I'm assuming because we're vampires, but there were other vampires at the circus. Why go after a group of 6 kindred?
I assume that the other vampires were already, working.
I mean,
And that the visitors were mostly all kind.
yeah, probably, but I'm still curious as to why.
Understand.
Yeah. Because, it seems kind of dumb if to go after 6 kindred at a time, if you know what kindred are capable of.
I mean, to
Which
be
I'm
fair,
assuming
we did
hunters
shoot
would know.
first. Han
They
shot
were-
first, no McClunky.
They were pursuing us.
That's another thing, though. Do they know that the circus is run by kindred? That's something else to keep in mind, because we maybe shouldn't let on that it is, just in case.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so let's just ask, why did you follow us? Why are you working for anyone specific? Why were you at the circus? I think those are good 3 first questions to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that then, you all are going to enter this office area.
Jose's also gonna turn up the speakers in the bar.
Good idea.
I don't
that
like
sounds good.
this.
Solid copy, yeah.
Yeah.
Just puts ABBA on blast.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah.
Is this a punk bar?
Tuesdays.
Give me,
Is
give me,
ABBA
give
punk?
me a man.
ABBA is... ABBA's what you make it.
There's nothing more punk than ABBA.
ABBA is the friends
yeah.
we made along the way.
weren't they?
Delightful. So you all, I assume,
How about the
ungag
dads
this
you
man.
find along the way?
Oh boy. Abba is the 3 dads you found along the way. Anyway.
That was a very good reference. I did enjoy it.
Thank you. Okay.
So Jose will sit him up and pull out the gag. How was Mr. Rogers?
The man takes a moment to kind of collect himself. Fine, I guess.
Listen, it was just. I thought it'd be calming. I don't know. I don't know what kids are into these days.
I'm not a kid. I mean, he kind of like looks at the rest of you. I mean, maybe by your standards, but.
Define your standards.
Oh, come on. You don't have to play coy with me. You all are vampires.
Jokes.
Or at least that one is. He actually...
Jokes on you, kid. I don't have standards. No, I'm just kidding. What were you saying, Julian?
We need to rein in the jokes. Serious time. Interrogation.
I can't. I'm a clown. I'm multi-class.
He points, or I guess not points, because his hands are tied.
Gestures.
Nods in the direction of Gabe. And I was figuring, by association, seeing as how you guys ripped my group apart.
Well, we
The rest of you
mostly
might be
shot
too.
them to death with guns. And
Yeah, that was real
I'm
fucking
sorry,
cool of
I
you.
feel like we're moving past the vampire thing way too quickly.
Oh, come
You think
on.
we're what?
You guys are vampires.
What on earth would make you think that? Especially a Father Gabe here.
He's a fucking priest, dude. What the fuck are you thinking?
I will say I'm not a priest, I'm a pastor, but that is beside the point.
Wait. Wait, you're not Catholic?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the difference. It's been a while since I've been to church.
Catholic, Protestant, that the whole deal.
Someone needs to take you
Oh,
then.
I'm so sorry for assuming.
There's this whole deal back in the 1600s, 1500s.
Okay, I'm not that old. I just,
That was
Been a while.
I'm very sorry. That was not meant to be a disparaging comment. Anyway,
Is that a Phil thing or a
and
Gabe
Gabe's going
thing?
to turn to address the prisoner, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Look, fate has had it that we are not on the same sides here. But I'm not a bad person, and I do not believe that you are a bad person. However, we have come to a crossroads. We need to know what's going on in order to make sure that everybody is safe. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody.
Yeah, and can we drop the whole vampire thing? Like, is that a code word for something? I don't...
Oh my gosh.
All these skinheads and their fucking buzzwords.
Danny rolls his.
Jose, at this point, is doing a bit, like, trying to...
As
fuck with
Dan
this
rolls
guy.
his eyes at this point, like, this is a fucking joke, is the expression on his face.
Pretending to not be vampires or this whole thing in general?
like, yeah, pretending to not be vampires.
Also, I will say, this guy did see Danny, eat a dude. Was he conscious when that
he
happened?
was. I knocked him out. He was
Oh,
fully
that's right.
unconscious. Yeah.
Okay, we have plausible deniability if we can keep this up. We're just gonna gaslight.
Why did the
just gonna
guy
gaslight
say
this
that I
man.
specifically am a vampire?
I think it has something to do with our vine.
I'm guessing it's because you regenerated super quick.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because you
getting
got shot.
shot
You
to
got
shit.
shot in the face, and now are perfectly fine.
Listen, I'm just a
Right.
really good plastic surgeon. Okay, we can make this work.
You're saying this in front of him.
Yeah, we all grouped up
I forgot that Irish is canon.
in front of him.
Yeah, Dan looks right. Are we really doing this?
Look, it's not exactly good for me to execute people in the back of my fucking bar. I was hoping something better would come up.
What? Okay, nobody said anything about executing. We're here to talk.
Well, exactly. This is not meant to be a threatening kind of deal. At least not in my mind.
As long as you don't turn it into one.
I'm just here to make sure no one gets hurt. That's why we need some information
Right.
from you.
Okay, well, what are you trying to ask me then?
Well,
Here's a start.
Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you.
This man seems a little exasperated.
What about this whole thing is exasperating? I don't know. I don't get
How
it.
is dealing with that? What about dealing with that is exasperating? We've never been exasperating once in our lives. I don't even know the meaning of that word.
I mean, the last time I spent a night locked up in a back room with a gag and tied up, I was just fine. The kids these days.
God. No tolerance.
But anyways, for starters, who do you work for?
He shrugs. I stock shelves at Walmart. I don't see what my job has to do with any of this.
I
You're
see.
telling us to cut the bullshit.
No,
Come
no.
on, you know what we're talking about.
Here's the thing. Do you work for yourself? Is this just a part-time hobby you have of following people from circuses down their streets, chasing them into bars?
Oh, now trying to kill vampires, that's not a hobby, that's more of like a revenge thing. Of a personal time. I don't get paid for it. He gives you a very smug smile.
But do you run with a specific group of people?
He shrugs. We're freelancers, we kind of change pretty frequently, especially with how many of your kind we go up against. This man's voice has changed like 3 times, it's fine.
Listen, he's been under a lot of stress.
He's trying stuff out. It's okay. We support him. We are gonna kill him, but we support him.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
I love that we did not establish this before going into. Like, I was hoping nobody would say anything, so this would happen.
How about your friends, all of them, people you've worked with before?
He shrugs. Some of them, yeah, some of them, they were new.
How new?
Couple weeks.
Why us?
As I said before, that one points or nods towards Gabe. I'm 99% sure is a vampire at this point. The rest of you, more than likely an association.
What in the world are you talking about?
We've been tracking this circus for a while now. We've seen and heard reports of someone matching your description feeding on the patrons, and when we
What?
came in here to investigate, we also saw that you, not just me now, I guess, because the others seem to be dead. Thanks for that. You got your face shot off, and now you're completely fine. That's not exactly normal.
I'm a doctor. I proved that. I patched up your leg there.
Look,
I'm a really good doctor.
first of all, I don't think that damage is quite as bad as you are saying. Obviously, if you had shot me in the face, I would not be standing here right now talking to you. Right?
He rolls his eyes at that. Come on.
Danny
will
rolls
admit-
his eyes in unison with this guy.
Secondly, what in the world are you talking about? That I have never been to the circus before in my life, aside from last night. That was the first time I have ever
whatever
been
you
there.
say, dude.
First time I've ever heard about it, even.
Whatever you say, dude. All I know is I've gotten reports from other people around country, I guess. God, that place travels fast. Someone matching your description, pretty much exactly.
What description is that?
Could you define that description?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Of all of us here, Gabe kinda.
Hard to match.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Like if
A
they
lot
had
of
said
folk
if
that
they had
look
said
like-
Theodore or Danny, I would be like, okay, yeah, I can see that, while thinking they are vampires. But Gabe,
Yeah, Gabe's
rosy cheeked,
a regular average.
regular ass
man.
dude, just
The
a
most
guy.
human looking dude
Gabe?
you've ever seen.
Regular cult member.
Gabe? He may be into some weird shit, but we don't kink shame here. He's just a guy.
He goes through, gives a pretty spot-on description of Gabe, of the, green eyes, blonde hair, cut short, however tall Gabe is.
All right.
How tall is Gabe?
5'9",
5'8".
5'8".
5'9"? Okay.
Short, apparently.
That's not short. That's not
Average-ish.
fucking short. Back off.
I'm also standing right here. You could have just been describing me the way you see me. All right, where else is this? Have I supposedly been seen? If not, just here in Houston. Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Look, Texas cities is the same to me.
Understandable. Guy shrugs. You've been seen multiple times wherever the circus has been. I'm just saying.
It's a pretty regular description of a guy, though.
How long ago did this
I have to say,
start?
I don't exactly stand out. Yeah, how long ago?
He looks exasperated. I told you, wherever the circus has been. It's been weeks. There was...
No,
he
like
pauses.
when did the report start? Like, what's the earliest report? When did it all start?
About 6 months ago.
And where?
Isaac pauses for another moment. I want to say up in Oregon, around the Salem area. That's where it started, and here's where we were hoping it would end.
Oregon, you say? Interesting. Ain't never been to Oregon. In fact, I lived in Texas my whole life, but,
Wow, I feel sorry for you then.
hey, it's a great place to live.
Fuck off!
Oregon's-
As Julian, fuck
real
right
quick,
off.
this guy, did he give description of just specifically Gabe or descriptions of all of us?
Just game.
Just
Just
yeah,
Gabe.
it's whack then. All right.
I have to ask you, laddie, where did you hear about this?
I told you, we have a bit of a network. Whenever we get a confirmed report, we try to send it out, keep updates, and this circus has been not the easiest to trail, but definitely one of the more solid leads we've had.
And what did you say? This, well, my apologies, Doctor. You may go ahead.
Oh, no, it's all right. You go ahead.
You two are way too polite.
Very well. What did you say this... Supposedly, what did you say I was seen doing at this circus? You said eating people?
Yeah, making them follow you into the darker parts, feeding off of them.
Any other patterns? How the fuck do you say pattern with a southern accent? Pattern?
You don't.
Any other patterns?
Pattern.
Pattern.
Peter
Oh,
Potter.
you're so cute. I can't handle this.
Pardon.
It's a random note, but I love how Gabe is supposedly a native-born Texan, but speaks with a Georgia accent.
Look, man.
We give him some leeway.
Like Gabe straight up
I
sounds
have
like
never
fucking.
spent any significant amount of time in the South.
Like fucking Gabe sounds straight up like fucking Candy from Django and Shane.
Okay, maybe
He
his
had
parents
a
were
Georgian nanny.
There you go.
Jeez, imagine being rich enough to have a nanny. Anyway, Etherich, what are we talking about? You're asking about patterns.
Yeah, were there any sort of patterns of victims? I mean, I know that I've not visited this circus before, so clearly I will take you at face value, and someone there is preying on, pardon the pun, preying on people at this circus. Now that does concern me.
I just got it.
I am a decent human being, and that's a decent human being that does concern me, as it should any decent human being.
Danny snorts when
You can drop
Danny
the whole
snorts when he
human
says
thing.
human being.
Yeah, you can drop the whole human thing, it's okay. I'm not gonna live past this.
Well, anyway,
Sidestepping that
As
issue.
I said, I am concerned. I would like to help. I need you to help us. What kinds of patterns were there going on? Was there a pattern to the victims? Was there a pattern to the appearances? Anything else? Was this a written report? Is there like a PDF you can send us?
Can you fax us? Mostly young women. Actually, no, exclusively at this point.
Now that is disturbing. Nothing else?
Yeah, it seems you don't care too much about what they look like as long as they're young, huh?
I'm not gonna say it again. I've said it so many times. Alright, gang.
We got a mystery in our hands.
What else do we want to know from this dude?
So you said you got this from network of contacts. Is it safe to assume then that there's gonna be more people looking to, engage in firefights at the circus? It's a crowded place. If you guys had just opened fire in the parking lot or something, some people could have gotten hurt.
We're not that fucking reckless. We do have some standards.
Then what if the people you're trying
God.
to, kill apparently, don't have those same standards and just shoot at you on sight? I mean, we noticed we were being followed pretty much as soon as it happened, so what's stopping it from just turning into a bloodbath then and there?
A man shrugs. It's part of the line of work. Or not work, I'm not getting paid. He rolls his eyes a little bit.
How much do you get paid at your other job?
Stocking shelves at Walmart?
Yeah.
Fucking minimum wage, my dude. Like $7.25.
Oof.
I can offer you 20
$20
an hour.
bucks? 20. His eyes shoot up at that. His eyebrows shoot up at that. I'm assuming I'm not gonna get employed past 1 hour then.
No. I run a bar here. I'm a intermediary, and while I don't especially love the people I work with, it's a necessity, and I'd prefer someone who knows a little more how to deal with our rowdier customers than the other. And I think you saw last night that I like to keep my bouncers and bartenders well equipped to deal with it, and you seem to know quite a deal about it. You could be useful.
He looks thoroughly confused. Isaac's kind of anxious now. You know I tried to kill you guys. I'm not exactly like a fan of what your whole species does.
What their whole species does. Like I said, I'm the intermediary here.
Are Danny's eyes still in his head, or are they just like fallen off?
Yeah, I think that one of Patrick's
it's
eyebrows
like-
just is the fire.
It like Danny just look at his face like this is just because it is. It's just the biggest load of bullshit he's ever heard his entire life.
One of Patrick's eyebrows has just reached the stratosphere at this point.
Honestly, I think Theodore is just more amused by the whole thing.
Theodore's just actually sitting in the back. Has ordered some popcorn
He's just
from the bar.
taking some popcorn that José has.
Oh boy.
So what I'm offering you is steady employment benefits. You still get to occasionally let loose your need for revenge. And you just don't tell anyone about what happened last night. I feel like that's a more than fair offer.
Isaac looks thoroughly perplexed. I mean, I don't see why not. Worst case scenario, that one kills me. Nods towards Gabe.
What?
But I have a feeling that's gonna happen sooner or later anyway.
I would not hurt a fly. I am telling you this.
Master, would you mind maybe exiting the room? You seem to be provoking him.
Now I want to make sure that no harm comes to this man.
I have 5 other sets of eyes on me, well, 4.
I need to know that I can trust all those eyes, is the thing. But very well. I'll step out.
Well, let's start the killing.
I like how Gabe is the one holding you guys back apparently from just killing everything in sight.
I mean, fucking.
It's definitely not Danny.
Well, I mean, literally. To be 100% fair, fucking technically keeping this guy alive is a masquerade violation. So.
Well, it's convenient that one of us doesn't technically completely abide by the masquerade.
What's a masquerade?
Oh no.
Isn't that what you put in
I don't know.
for,
Are masquerade and
carnivals?
etiquette technically different?
No, the
things?
masquerade is not etiquette at all. The masquerade is specifically humans not knowing vampires exist.
I could ghoul him. But no, he probably
I say it, but then you have to deal with like the fucked up moral quandary of ghouling someone against their will. So like,
yeah.
I do want to also say, one of you in particular may have something to help wipe his
so I
memory.
say Dominate can do that, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, what's one of the powers?
I don't have high enough dominate for that yet.
It's like level 2 or 3 or something.
It's like 3 or higher, I think.
For wiping memory?
For specifically
Dominate-
wiping memory,
hard dominate
I
can wipe
think
memory.
I remember reading that.
Gabe
later.
has level 3
I think that's enough.
Level 3
or
dominate?
2. No, it's
I
2.
have 2.
Yeah,
2
You're right.
lets
3
you,
is where you can mess with
lets
memories.
you implant a false like thought or suggestion, but I believe
Well, you
to
can- yeah.
fully erase a memory, that's higher.
Yeah, it's you roll it and the roll determines how much you can do.
Yeah, let me pull up the page.
Listen, folks, it's been a long time, but I do know how to perform a lobotomy.
Oh boy.
I'm just,
we don't
I'm
do
just
those
kidding. I'm
anymore.
just kidding.
I mean, I've never seen one perform. You know, professional curiosity and all that.
Yeah, it's 3 dots to alter memories.
So Gabe has left the room at this point, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Although he is paying attention to hear if there's any sound of a scuffle or anything.
Yeah, okay, so like,
So,
I mean, yeah, I think Danny Chef looks at the room and he's like, so we drop in the act.
I'm willing to, but
I mean, I think he and I look at Jose drop the act already.
Good. Okay, there, sport. Listen up. I think you'd already figured this out, but you basically got 2 choices. You come work for Mr. Jose here, or you die. I wanna let
he kind of
yeah, he says
raises
like,
an eyebrow at that.
least I can do is let you make the decision with some goddamn dignity. And he like looks over at like where Gabe left out.
He kind of raises an eyebrow at you. I kind of figured you guys would kill me one way or another, so, I mean, if I get a couple more weeks out of this, then sure.
Jose will go to one of the filing cabinets and get like a job application paper set together. This is all performative, but I need your stuff on record. You head out, and if I find out you've been contacting anyone about my side business, you're done. Got it.
I think
He nods.
I think Danny
very
tilts his head
solemnly.
at that and he says, you're gonna ghoul him, right?
Well, sir, like I said, I don't have those options. You'll have to excuse my friend. They get kind of used to their method of dealing with things.
He says, Danny says, well, how are you gonna make sure he doesn't run off?
He works minimum wage at a Walmart in Houston. There's not a lot of places he can run to.
Danny shrugs. Danny shrugs. Better than dying.
Well, I think that's up to my new employee. And once again, if you remember the contract you signed when we started working together, what I do with my employees is solely at my discretion.
Danny shrugs. I mean, it's your head with the prince if it goes wrong, not mine.
Well, like I said, I have something to offer to the prince. And if the prince wants to take issue with me, they're more than welcome to. Now, Scram. He takes the last of the bonds off the person.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, I couldn't let him run out without taking one more look and making sure that leg's healing up all right.
Oh, fuck.
Would you mind?
Isaac nods confused and raises up the pants leg and shows you where it was hit, and it's looking good. It's looking pretty decent.
All right. Lad, if you need anything, I know healthcare is expensive, so you come to me if you need anything, all right?
He doesn't say anything, he just nods quickly and is kind of scrambling out of the door away from this weird situation. And he doesn't even acknowledge Gabe as he, goes to the corner of the bar and starts filling out the job application.
I think Jose motions for Gabe to rejoin us.
I have to ask, though, should Jose have to roll to convince this guy that he's human, or...?
I would, retroactively, then. Manipulation plus empathy.
I mean...
I do imagine this will be a pretty easy roll.
I mean, we don't have to know if he succeeds, mind you, just curious.
I mean, NPCs are allowed to have their own thoughts and ideas that you guys don't have to know about. It's okay. Okay.
I think that'll do it. 4 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the man does seem to buy into this easily enough. You all are wrapping up the interrogation, and I imagine you decide it's now time to go to the circus, to your new jobs.
Hey, Thea, you got a minute?
Yeah, what's up? Does this maybe have something to do with the security that you've been weird about?
Danny, narrows his eyes, he looks, very aggressive for a second, but then he kind of, breathes in and breathes out. Well, it seems I came to the right guy, then.
Yeah, lucky you. I haven't checked anything of it, so I don't know why you're so up in arms and antsy about it, but I assume it's something that you don't want Jose specifically to know.
Look, you seem like a very pragmatic kind of guy. I respect that. So, I'm not going to bring an excuse to you and waste your time. I know you can fuck with machines. And I'm assuming that he has another copy of that file on him somewhere. He shrugs, I have no idea where, but regardless, I'm going to ask you a simple question. I'd like a simple answer. I need you to fry that drive so nobody can see that video. What do I need to do to make it worth your while?
Now that is the question. You just want this gone, yeah?
I just want the video gone.
Should be easy enough. Let's say you owe me a favor, then.
Oh. Well, Lucky for you, that's the kind of language I'm used to. And he extends a hand out to like shake your hand. I'll take you up on it.
Looks like we've got a deal.
A deal indeed.